IQ. So your answer can't be out of 30 because we had 50 kids that had normal IQ. Are we okay with that, not switching them? I know it's a simple mistake to make. Justin, come get a prize. All right, unusual probability is usually labeled as less than 5%. You want to do a mystery tattoo too?
Should we just tattoo Jason?
You can't make that choice for Jace.
Oh, I got a sad face.
Aww.
Put that right here. Go ahead.
All right, independent events. Anybody want to tell me what an independent event is? Yes?
Doesn't rely on the other one.
Good. Two events that don't affect each other. Can anybody think of two probability events where they have nothing to do with each other? The probability of somebody walking in my room and getting mud on my floor definitely depends on how wet it is outside, right? But tell me two things that don't affect each other. Tegan?
Flipping a coin and rolling the dice.
Yes. No effect on each other. Okay, but here's a question. Let's say that you're playing a game and you're just trying to get like heads on a coin, right? And it's a normal coin. It's not a weighted coin. Does everybody know what a weighted coin is? Weighted coin is like when one side's a little heavier than the other. It's a cheating coin so that it will land more on one side than the other, okay? Which they do make out there, but they're very careful, like in gambling kind of places, that you wouldn't have any loaded die, same thing, where it's like heavier on one side than the other. They have all their own stuff. Okay, so if you flipped a coin and you flipped it 10 times in a row and you got heads every single time, is that possible?
Yeah.
That is actually 2 to the power of 10. That's, your chances of doing that is 1 in 1,024. Very rare that you'd get 10 heads in a row. So what do you think about the next flip? Let's say you got 10 heads in a row. How about the next flip? What are the chances of you getting heads? Still 50%. Every time it's 50-50. You know, have you heard people say like, I'm due for a heads, like I haven't gotten a heads for a long time. I'm due for a tails. I'm due for a 6 if you're rolling dice. That's totally not a thing. Okay, that's people putting their own perspective on things that have nothing to do with each other. So even if something happened in the past, it doesn't happen in the future. It's a fun thing to say. But anyway, Tegan, you should grab a prize for doing the independent events. How about dependent events? Yeah? They rely on each other, yeah. Rely on each other. And by they relying on each other, what I mean by that is that one probability definitely affects the other probability. Can anybody think of an example like that? The what? Okay, so mud on the floor, and it's a rainy day. Okay, independent or dependent. Selecting a king from a standard deck, not replacing it, and selecting a queen from the same deck. Independent or dependent? What do you think? Dependent, because? Because it does change with the next thing, but what specifically about it made it change? That we got rid of it. That's the big thing. Could I select a king, put it back, and then would that change my probabilities of getting a queen? No, as long as I put it back. Tossing a coin, getting a head, and then rolling a 6-sided die and obtaining a 6. I think we already decided that's independent since it's literally the thing that Tegan said. Okay, driving over 85 miles an hour and getting into a car accident. Independent or dependent?
Dependent.
I'd say, will one cause the other? Not always. Does it make it more likely that you might get into a car accident if somebody's going over 85 miles an hour? Probably. Unless, of course, we're, well, then again, even if we're at like a raceway, what are the chances of there being an accident, like in the Indy 500? Pretty good. It's not like they've never had one before. Okay? All right, you do the next two with your partner, and then we'll quit for the day. No homework tonight.
Toss a coin.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
All right. Just say it to me, guys. Smoking a pack of cigarettes a day and developing emphysema or chronic lung disease, independent or dependent? Dependent. If you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, are you guaranteed to get lung disease? No. Is it more likely? Yes. Tossing a coin and getting a head, tossing a coin again and getting a tail, related? That would be independent. Because why? One doesn't affect the other, which I think you understood but said the wrong word. Because if you flip once and you get a heads, that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get a tails next time or whatever. So make sure you keep a hold of these notes for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Thursday.